do not know God, I do not love him, and I am not a Christian. That's biblically what the Bible teaches. That's what Christ teaches, okay?
Okay,
so
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What did you have to drink? What did you have to drink for lunch?
I had some water and fruit, sparkling water.
Okay, so was there sugar in the sparkling water?
No.
Have you had caffeine or sugar since you have devoted yourself to Christ?
Okay, having caffeine and sugar is not a sin, bro. You want to know what sin is?
Well,
Exodus chapter 20 is what sin is. God's 10 commandments, man. Okay, are you gonna sit here and try to argue that caffeine and sugar are a sin and a drug and stuff like that? Because they're not. They're in literally sugar is in fruit. Did you know that?
sugar and caffeine has addictive capacity to it. So technically, drinking caffeine and ingesting sugar is violating your body, and the Bible says your body is a temple, bro. So
you are taking that completely. You are completely wrong on that subject, by the way, because fruit has sugar in it, and by eating a strawberry, you are not damaging your body. Okay, that is one of the healthiest.
That has no addictive properties.
Okay.
We talking about that glucose, not that sucrose, buddy.
So you're saying you
Coca-Cola?
You think that eating sugar is a sin?
It's not that I think. I think they have addictive capacity in it, and sugar's not good for you. The unnatural sugar isn't good for you, so it's violating your body. So I'm not. The point I'm not trying to make is like, oh, you can't.
So you're saying sugar, I've sinned through sugar?
That is absolutely correct.
And that's absolutely false and wrong and not biblical at all. Okay, I think you're trying to find sin where it's not. Okay?
It's not that I'm trying to find sin, it's just you're saying that, like, you can't be a Christian if you don't follow them.
God's law, the 10 Commandments, yes, exactly. Okay, that's what Jesus says. I'm not going off of it's not what I'm saying, it's what the Bible says. So it's not my words, it's literally what the Bible says. So, next question?
Alright.
I want to ask. Oh, wait, so, like, yeah, no, so what Dylan did say, before you guys had a little rant on stuff, the tweet that you did put out did only talk about his bat. But then does that not make you, like, not perfect for calling out someone else's flaws?
Do you understand the direction, the reasoning behind the tweet, right?
No.
You don't. Okay, so let me tell you something. This world that we live in is full of idols. Okay? False idols. Like people looking up to man, like I discussed earlier, and putting certain individuals up onto a pedestal, glorifying this individual, okay, versus glorifying and putting Christ up on a pedestal. All of America, all of the world puts celebrities and man up on a pedestal and have Jesus or God completely void of the equation. So man in itself, let me finish. Man, the point of the tweet was to point out that people are literally looking up to and idolizing and glorifying people that are doing certain things or have done certain things, or that are glorifying them in a way that is, in my book, not warranted, and versus glorifying God and idolizing God. That's the whole point of the tweet. And because there's so many people, so many young kids that look up to certain individuals that are terrible examples of an individual to follow, versus following someone like Christ, who is the perfect example of who you would want to be in life, versus somebody else. That's the whole point in the tweet, was to point out the fact that the world in general and people idolize individuals over Christ, over God, which is not right at all. Do those people need help? Do they need Christ? absolutely,
Isn't
100%.
that like disrespectful though? Like the way you just like disrespected him with that. Like you just called him a druggie that killed himself. He was clearly struggling with stuff.
Do those people?
Yes, he had
do
issues.
those?
Not everyone was perfect.
Do those people need help? Absolutely. Do they need Christ? Absolutely. Should we bring them the gospel? 100%. That's not at all. I'm not.
What you're saying is no one. Y'all have to basically get down and.
I'm saying we should idolize Christ over man, and we shouldn't be putting anybody on a pedestal that is and glorifying that individual. You know, and it happens all the time. It happens in celebrities all the time. It happened with Robin Williams. It happens with everybody. People put these people on pedestals and glorify them over, you know, glorifying God, and it's disturbing.
What did Robin Williams do?
Hang on a second.
So I don't know. I just feel like I was like, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't really believe in God. I don't think God right now is right for me. But I just felt like it was disrespectful for how you kind of just like threw on his name by calling him a druggie that killed himself. When in the other world, as you can see,
well, it's exactly what happened though.
Not your.
It's exactly what happened though. I didn't falsify anything. I didn't like call anybody out. It was exactly what happened.
If you were to die, and I were to tweet about you, right? And I could tweet good things like he spread the gospel, right? He changed lives, right? Or I could call you an old man who sat and played video games all day. Now, which one sounds better?
I think it's time to go. It's time to get out of that conversation. It's going nowhere. I made my point. It's time to get out of that conversation.